Hi, Annette. Very
Hi.
glad we can chat today a little bit about your experience with CAC Advisors. What would you like to say just right off the bat?
I think the biggest thing that I would like to say is that I reached out to CAC when I was at my rock bottom for my business and did not know if I would be able to save my business. And working with CAC has allowed me to not only know that my business is going to be saved, it's going to survive, but it's also in a space of thriving now. And we're now forward thinking and we're talking growth and expansion. And I could not have done this without them.
That's so great to hear, Annette. And, we're so proud of you and what you've accomplished. I mean, truly, because it's our mission to help practice owners like you succeed and to be able to navigate some of the challenges that business can present in a way that's supportive of you. Um, so one thing that we did another one of these like a little while back, and it became like a 17-minute video. So we're trying to be a little bit more careful about how much time we put
Sure.
in. But let's say you only had like 30 to 60 seconds between floors on an elevator, and someone asked you what you might have to say about CAC advisors. How might you answer that question if it was somewhat like a practice owner you saw at a
Sure.
conference or something like that?
I would say that there are things as a practice owner. Most of us who go into this business as practice owners go into this as therapists from the beginning and don't know the business ins and outs as well as we should. And I tried for a long time to learn those ins and outs, and I worked way harder than smarter. And what CAC did is they allowed me to go into a direction with using their knowledge to take their expertise and then start working smarter, not harder. And so it shifted everything for me because all of the things that I need to learn as a business owner for this specific business, I'm learning through them because of their knowledge and we're not reinventing the wheel. And I feel like before I was trying to architect the wheel, build the wheel, not have the right tools to build the wheel, any of that. And now the wheel's there and now we're moving forward with it.
That's awesome. Um, Maybe another question, Annette, could be when we first talk to practice owners, it feels concerning, like to them to sort of let us have all this information and sort of let us in to like see the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Is there anything you might say about sort of navigating that first step of like trust building and getting kind of
Sure.
that relationship?
It's interesting because for myself, there had been a lot of areas where trust had been broken for me when we started working together. And um, it was a leap of faith for me personally to say, I have to trust somebody who has the expertise instead of trusting people who don't have the expertise, but say that they've got my best interest. And there was an absolute recognition right away that CAC was working with me, not just for me. Like every step was transparent, it was open, it was we recommend this, we encourage this, not you have to do this, because the have to feels that the agency or that isn't mine. And instead, I feel like I have autonomy in my business while I'm also trusting the expertise that I've been given. And that was from the absolute get go. And it was really when I reached out, I was at rock bottom with my business. I had bad business partners, I've had bad funding, I had all of the stuff. And every single piece of it was like, okay, you've got that. Let's figure out how to navigate through that and build. And there was no judgment in it. There was no space of, man, you really screwed this up for a really long time. There was nothing. It was instead, this happened. This is not uncommon. This happens to more people than you think it does. And let's move forward how the best steps that we know how to move
That's awesome. What would you say right now, Annette, is the most exciting thing that's going on for you with your practice?
Growth, absolute growth. So many there's so many areas right now that are growing in my business itself. And the most exciting thing for me is what I envisioned 5 years ago feels like it's finally coming true to fruition versus like this idea of we've got this great idea. I don't know how to get there. Now, instead, there is this absolute knowledge of we are getting to where that vision of what we knew we could create, we're creating it instead of it being like, I think it's there. It's a great idea. How do I create it? Now, instead, we're at a place of like, oh, yeah, we're creating this.
That's awesome. Well, we're excited, and it's our privilege to help you, Annette. And thank you so much for sharing your story.
Absolutely. This was the best business decision I made in 2024.
That's fantastic.